And clearly she wanted it to happen so much to remind people, yes, I am a member of the royal family. I don't think it's just quite extraordinary. And shows a level of insecurity, would you say?
Totally. I mean, we can see that insecurity even when she sent that letter to Jamie Kern-Lima, the podcast host, with, again, the titles totally sort of misused on a letterhead. I do think that she uses that with every scrap that she can to try and lift herself up status-wise, especially in America where titles mean something different over there, definitely to over here. But I just hope that when William gets in, he strips them of the titles, because I just don't think she's deserving of them, and I think she's abusing them at this point.
Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, where apparently the most urgent crisis in the United Kingdom is not inflation, not the NHS, not anything remotely logical, but Meghan Markle signing her name. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your snacks, because today we're diving into why the Sun panelists, led by Samara Gill, Chief Officer of Royal Panic, have smashed the big red remove her title button once again. You would think Meghan borrowed the crown jewels, reversed a royal carriage into Buckingham Palace, and drove off with a corgi. But no, her crime? Using a title she legally owns. Let's get into this circus. Commentators like Samara Gill have made it their mission to police Meghan's identity, scrutinising every aspect of how she presents herself to the world. On television panels and in op-eds, they dissect her every move, questioning her motives and intentions with relentless intensity. These critics go so far as to demand her royal title be stripped away, insisting that she no longer has the right to use it, as if her identity can be erased by public opinion alone. Their main argument? That Meghan is somehow profiting from a title she supposedly no longer deserves, conveniently ignoring the legal reality that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is now her official name, recognised in legal documents and public records. The tabloids eagerly frame her continued use of the title as an act of defiance, painting her as rebellious while conveniently forgetting that this title is not just hers, but also a part of her children's identity and heritage. No other person who has married into a titled family has ever faced such relentless demands to relinquish their name. Spouses of royals before her have kept their titles without controversy, their identities left unchallenged by the press or public. This outrage is not a spontaneous grassroots movement. Instead, it's a carefully orchestrated, media-driven agenda. Outrage manufactured, amplified, and recycled endlessly for the sake of attention-grabbing headlines and increased circulation. The simple act of using her legal name, something most people take for granted, has been twisted into a perpetual controversy, a lightning rod for criticism and debate. Ultimately, it's a testament to the media's extraordinary power, not just to create problems out of thin air, but to keep them alive, fueling public outrage and then positioning themselves as the arbiters of the very issues they invented. The accusation that Meghan is misusing her title is vague and unsupported. The title is a legal label, not a tool for power or privilege, especially not in America. Its presence on a website or letter is hardly a grave abuse. Relinquishing a peerage isn't as simple as cancelling a subscription. It's a complex legal matter. Demanding she stop using it is a no-win proposition designed to corner her. The outrage is based on suspicion, not any real transgression. It's the perfect media weapon, an accusation that requires no proof and can never be disproven. The monarchy knows that stripping a title is a drastic, rarely used step, reserved for the gravest offences. Even Prince Andrew, despite serious allegations, retains his dukedom to avoid a constitutional mess and PR disaster. The palace prefers quiet management, sidelining problematic royals rather than public confrontation. Harry and Meghan are no longer working royals. From the palace's view, the issue is contained. Engaging in a public battle over a name would only fuel the fire. The monarchy's silence is a calculated move to preserve dignity, not a sign of weakness. Tabloid demands for action are both malicious and ignorant of royal strategy. The real reason for the campaign against Meghan is about control, not protocol. The British tabloids once shaped the royal narrative, but Meghan and Harry broke that cycle by reclaiming their own story. Their independence rendered the tabloid gatekeepers obsolete, fueling media rage. Attacks on Meghan are punishment for her refusal to play by their rules. Her peace and success are infuriating reminders of lost influence. The tabloids' obsession with her title is projection. It's their last weapon. Every action is scrutinized, her independence framed as betrayal. The outrage is about punishing her for daring to write her own story. The outrage over Meghan commercializing her title is exposed by the double standard applied to other royals. Many royal relatives use their status for business, from sponsorships to property empires, with little criticism. When Meghan and Harry sign media deals, it's called a scandal. When others profit, it's savvy. The hypocrisy is clear. The rules are applied differently. The campaign against Meghan is personal, not principled. It's not about commercializing the monarchy, but about who is allowed to benefit. The selective outrage singles her out for reasons beyond protocol. If Meghan is truly irrelevant, why does the press obsess over her every move? The relentless coverage, the endless headlines, and the constant speculation all point to a deeper fascination that goes far beyond mere royal gossip. Every gesture, every outfit, every word she utters is dissected and analysed, fueling a media frenzy that shows no sign of slowing down. Their fixation proves her ongoing relevance as a cultural figure, not just a royal. Meghan has become a symbol of change, of controversy, and of the shifting dynamics within the monarchy and society at large. She represents something bigger than herself, and that makes her impossible to ignore. The constant attacks are a business model. She's a reliable source of clicks and revenue. Newsrooms know that stories about Meghan guarantee attention, driving traffic and boosting profits. Her name alone is enough to spark debates and keep audiences engaged, making her a valuable commodity in the world of modern media. By insisting on her irrelevance while fueling her fame, the media perpetuates her influence. The contradiction is striking. The more they claim she doesn't matter, the more they ensure she remains at the centre of public conversation. It's a cycle that benefits the press, even as it undermines their own narrative. The outrage is rooted in resentment over her independence and uncomfortable questions about race and class. Meghan's willingness to speak out and challenge tradition has unsettled many, exposing deep-seated biases and sparking important conversations about who belongs in the royal spotlight. The title is just a pretext for a deeper campaign to punish an outsider who challenged the status quo. Her presence in the royal family forced a reckoning with old norms, and the backlash is as much about protecting tradition as it is about punishing difference. Imagine thinking Meghan wakes up every morning like, "Alexa, remind people I'm the Duchess of Sussex." Meanwhile, she's actually packing school lunches, feeding rescue chickens, writing scripts, running a foundation, and trying to maintain peace, despite being attacked by tabloids that can't spell Sussex without gritting their teeth. The title is not Meghan's personality. The obsession is the media's. So, to Samara Gill, to the Sun panelists, and to everyone who makes a weekly career out of policing Meghan's legal title, let it go. Meghan's identity was never tied to a crown. The problem is that hers shines brighter than the one they keep trying to protect. This has been Meghan and Harry Tales, where nonsense gets fact-checked, hypocrisy gets roasted, and Meghan always gets the defence she deserves.